Welcome back, welcome back. Hope you guys doing alright. I'm chilling. Can't say I'm really doing bad. God bless you.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. You know? Could say I wish I was doing a little bit better. But life is life. Sometimes you gotta be content or happy where you are. So I watched a video on a woman a couple or maybe days or weeks back. I made a video on her too. But for some odd reason, that video got a big copyright strike or blocked or something. I forgot why I erased it though. And it was because it was another woman's video talking about being alone. And I was like very intrigued with the different reasons why I keep hearing these women talking about this. And it was, I can't say a good thing because, a lot of people are alone because they were hurt. Some people are hurt alone because they're trying to grow up, figure things out in life, or even just learn about things in life that other people are just, they're not interested in that. And I see that society has made this certain group of people. I don't know if it's always been like that, like if we've always been here, because society changes, society evolved into what we see. And then I watched another video, and she was talking about what she thinks of men and relationships. So I definitely wanted to jump on that, because seeing someone that understands how you feel being alone because of relationships, you would want to see how they feel still about relationships. Plus, she's giving her opinion on how she feels about men. I'm a man, so I always like to know what that's like. Oh, pardon me, that was a long experience getting food right there. So, I'm listening to her give a really good video. I think it was good because it wasn't another toxic woman giving all of her opinion of the men that did her wrong and then spewing it on to every man and saying all men and this and all you fucking. And then I like the fact that she actually took the time to address men and not just do the stereotypical thing that men or women do. Like, we just rip each other apart a lot because of the things that have happened to us in our own life. And that's understandable, but correcting each other is necessary. Tearing each other down in the correction really isn't. And I definitely am one to do that, but that's because of the experiences that I've had and watched other men be torn down by women. But I also watched a lot of men tear women down, so that's why I give my harsh opinions, because I've seen it. I know it's real. And it feels good to have someone actually speak about, how can I say the right words and not be misunderstood? What love is for them, but we all talk about it that way. Like this woman describes having a twin flame experience, or what most people, just a love of your life type of deal, right? And it was the way she described the man. It was really like the way she described she treated him and the way she felt about him was a lot. And she literally made a great point. She was like, I don't understand what's wrong with men, because yous want us to fall in love with you when we first see yous and everything. Yous want us to be this way. But when we do fall in love, when you are that man, those men get afraid. And then they don't know how to handle it. And I was like, wow, that's so true, because that's the type of stuff that I talk about on my channel a lot, about women that aren't just being wicked to men, and why a lot of women are single, because I've either talked to women like this, or, I made some mistakes in my own life, so it would make sense why they try to stay by themselves, because of certain things you go through with people. You spend a lot of time with them, you know? Start adapting. Or at least that's what I believe happened with me. And she starts talking about how, although things wasn't super perfect, they were perfect for her. Like this man she described him so well, right? That you literally think of like the typical male that women describe. And then when she actually described his physicalities and certain things, it was the opposite, you know? He's an average man. And she looked at him as above average. And I had that theory. I said that theory a long time ago. Because I've done it myself, being a man that dated a woman or two that wasn't just what everyone sees as attractive. But to me, they were really attractive. But it wasn't just a physical thing. It was the other attributes, the mind, the way we talk to each other, the way we flow with each other, the way we actually liked the similar things and would talk about them. But I guess I was in my younger years, so that's like, I don't know how you would say it. A lot of people just don't love the scene. And that's okay, I believe, because, you know, but this kind of love that she was describing sounded so familiar. She was describing a mind, body, and soul connection. I don't know how many times I've actually said that on my channel in many various ways. And she talked a little bit about philosophy and all these ancient things that she's learned. different tribal stuff and yin and yang, and stuff that I show you guys, and it was like so. It was good to know that a woman like that exists before I ever seen her. You know, and not to say like she's exactly like me because we're really not. I don't think. But the way we describe love is similar. A understanding, a yearning to want to express yourself and allow someone to express themselves. She said the typical thing that women say, I want a man that talks to me about real life and things, right? And I've heard that many times, and then I start talking all the stuff I know, and women won't know anything about it. And it used to get me really upset because I'm like, what the fuck did I learn this stuff for? If when I actually talk about it, women don't even want to hear this shit. They want me to be talking about music videos or some bozo shit. So when I watched her describe the exact opposite, but in men, that shit was like it made me laugh. I was like, wow, it's like literally I was like, that's me right there, but that ain't me. And she wasn't even trying to hurt anyone's feelings. She was trying to just make the same point that I make. A connection for some people is more than just what I guess the overall people do. And it's something that is obtained. It can be obtained by a lot of people, I think. But at the same time, I don't think it can because it's a level of awareness. It's a level of self awareness that allows you to think of another. It's like very weird. I don't know how to describe it. I'm still new to expressing and making sense of what I already know to be true because I live and do it, you know, or have done it and want to create and build upon. Now, a lot of times when I describe sexual alchemy and just being around a woman to, I don't know, share time with more than just, you know, let's go to the movies and let's, that's automatic. That's something that's just, people really don't value knowing and sharing knowledge they're interested in. Like a lot of people aren't interested in certain things. So, I can understand. But once you become interested in having a certain level of knowledge and you like certain things, of course you're going to need someone that is interested or already has the interest in it. And I can see people coming out of that shell and hopefully starting to come together and being able to talk at least that, because having these relationships and stuff, like so many of us have a distance, and a lot of people are different races, and you know. But it seems like most of the people have this understanding. They're not. They have dated other people of other races. Like she said, she did too, and I have. So I know that the ability of what I speak of is not just a one people thing. And it's always, like I said, it's always good to hear people talk about friendships. Like the way she just described um, what she would want as a friend was exactly what I described. Like, I don't want to just have male friends because I don't do what males typically do. So, for me to just have male friends, I can only experience one side of life. I'm like yin and yang. So, I need female friends. But male and females are not, they're not always on that level. We live in a world where there's a lot to entertain you from those things. And everyone's not built the same, so I don't expect everyone to be entertained by things. But the way she described just wanting to get a cup of coffee and talk about things that she's learned about the old days and things that people think may happen or could happen. I don't see too many people having these discussions without arguments, and you know, it's no more actual talks about things. It's more people just giving their opinion, someone else gives their opinion, and we try to be right about things instead of just being. Because nobody really knows 100% of what was true. At least I'll never claim it because I don't. I wasn't there. But what I do know is people are very interested in a more simple life, which actually leads to a more fulfilling life. And some people are into this new way, I guess. You know? Synthetic. I'm not gonna say fake or whatever. I would say I don't want to use the word primitive, but or low vibrational, because it seems like it's just always a way to insult people with words that actually are not insulting. They're just what it is. If you're on a low level of thinking, you're a low level thinker. Doesn't mean you're an idiot or a bad person. It just means you're not going to experience life the way I am. I'm not going to experience life the way you are. You know how they say ignorance is bliss? Well, being on a lower level means that you're more ignorant. If you're more ignorant and it causes bliss and happiness, you kind of see what knowledge is. It's a double-edged sword. The more you gain, the harder it is to be happy. Because, happiness is a level thing, just like love. And being around people, friends or lovers, we all search for a similar vibration so we can grow. Anyway, just wanted to say thank you. Just wanted to say thank you to the women that actually have been hurt and still want to be in love. Her story is a very traumatic story. A lot of pain, betrayal. But I can see by the way she presents herself in certain. I haven't even watched a lot of her videos. She could be lying, just like I could be. But sometimes you just know when you see somebody, like, they may not be perfect, but they're alright. They're doing what they're doing for a reason. And it's not a hateful reason. It's not a, I'm different and I'm better. No, I'm me, and this is what inquires to make me happy. Being alone. Because other people won't step outside their box. And the ones that do aren't close enough, or we don't see each other. So, hopefully, like what's been happening will keep happening for me, and I'll keep drawing more people like this in, because I don't want to argue. I'm done with making videos about, well, I keep saying it, but I always be the defender. That's what it is. I have to make those videos with the anger and defending certain things for my people and other people that have to deal with the wickedness of the world. But I also don't like to do that all the time. I like to show other things. I miss showing the things I'm interested in or the things I've learned about, and trying to get other people to know about those things, so I can bring another level of awareness to people. That's what gives you these things, is knowing. Because ignorance is bliss until, the things you don't know, you need to know. Then ignorance is not bliss anymore. Especially sexually. The way she, in short terms and didn't give a very big speech on it, the way she described what she would have as a sex life and what most women describe as sex life, it's two different things. And it's because, to me, exactly what she said, when your woman is actually attracted to you, then she will want to be, you know? And when I heard her say how the man she was with looked, that she loved so much, and she described him to not be this super Chad, or it was funny, she said, I don't even know what a fucking Chad is. I had to look it up. I was like, yo, that's funny. But I was impressed, because she's not an ugly woman. She's not a super attractive modern woman at the same time, but she is pretty. Um, her body is nice. She keeps herself well. And the way she described him as a heavier man, you know, just just blew my mind, really. Because I had a friend that was a heavier set man. And I told him women like that exist. In all the ways he described how he wishes he could have a woman that does look good and isn't that they don't accept big guys like me that want to hug them and love them, and I want to be there and listen to their problems, and all she kept describing. I can't find a man that wants to actually love me the way I want to. If I have some type of trauma she has from being with a man, and he had like abusive in all his ways, so it makes her uh need to be reminded of love more, or she feels insecure. She needs this extra whatever that men say they will do, but then they don't do it. They're like, "Oh, you're weird." And then when I heard her describe the way he says he wants to be with a woman, and her describe his fat ass as a gorgeous man and the man of her dreams and all this, and I said, "Yo, this world is really fucked up, yo." People that are actually perfect, who could be perfect with each other, can't find each other because they won't stick their heads up and say, "I'm over here." And I tried to tell him, stick your head above the water. Join me with GMB. Make your little section on your side. Do your thing, whatever. Show yourself. Get out here, bro. You gotta get out here if you wanna find this woman. And he ain't believe me. I hope you're still listening. Because we all have a journey to take, and it's all choices. No matter how good you are in your heart, if you don't make the effort to be with somebody, you're gonna be alone. You know? And a lot of us, you know, we get stuck in our ways where you just feel hopeless because you meet so many people that are not like you, or they don't understand you. But they're out there. They are. How to connect to these people, I can't even really say anymore because most of us are so tired of dating apps and just meeting people, period, that it just seems difficult. You don't get to be yourself, you know? And then all the time off of not being around people will make people not in the right vibration. So I see a lot of people that, I don't know, I'm gonna have to just figure out a new way or something, or like I said, communicate, put yourself out there in ways, and others will come eventually. Now, I'm not saying you have to make a channel, talk about your problems, but in your neighborhood, in the social media that you do already possess, you know, reach out to people, especially women. I understand we gotta be more manly and reach out, but it never was not a thing for women to let men know, I like you. There were signals and things yous had that yous dropped those techniques a long time ago, and you want us to be mind readers in a world that where we get bashed for trying to read your mind. If we're wrong, you're done. You're getting embarrassed. You're gonna, you know. So we don't want to do that. We want yous to go back to the old days of, I'm gonna drop my handkerchief and shit. I'm going to walk up to a man and start a conversation. That's not hitting on him. That's just you breaking the ice of letting a man know, you can speak to me. I see you over there staring, so I'm gonna walk up to you and say, "What's your favorite ice cream?" I don't care what it is. Yous have to engage. It's not just a man has to do things. It never was. Men have to be ready, you know? But women have to signal. You need to learn whatever way is good for you to signal to a man that you're interested and you want to be pursued. It has to be more than us looking at each other. It has to be a little more than, you know, it has to be direct. I understand for women it's very embarrassing. You just don't really have game. You just don't know how to really, you get just as embarrassed as we do. But you have an advantage as a woman because you can do the simplest thing like wink at a man, put your finger out and wave him over like, come here. Because men are not used to things. Women don't do that, to the man they don't like. So, the women that haven't dealt with Chad and all the others, like she said, you know, we still require you to